This is gonna be fun. I'm at a red light. It just turned red, and I know this is a long light. So hopefully, I know I'm gonna talk longer than this light. So we're gonna do some spinning, but the street goes straight for a little bit. So, they hired another new person. Last week they hired a new person. This week they hired a new person. I've been helping with both. They've each had to sit with me for a few hours while I do orders, strip labels, and all that stuff, just to talk them through like what we do. Mostly because there's two styles. Me, the other person who's been here for 7 years, their styles is do it the easiest way, the quickest way, you know, the least effort kind of way. And there's my style, which is do the most extra way. And like do it, you know, whatchamacallit, write down every detail, do everything like, so there's no mistakes, and if there's mistakes in the future, it will be like, if someone calls back, you know, we'll figure it out, like we can prove them wrong, we got receipts. That's my method. And the other person is like, you just gotta do the bare minimum. So I told them like, hey, this is the way I do it, you could take away, you can add more, you can do the same, whatever is your method. I'm just doing the most. This is my organization. No, this is what I have to do. You do you. And then so I was thinking just now, and I was thinking like, my goodness. So it's about relationships. I was in a relationship for, I feel like 3 years that ended in the 2020-21 era. We had moved in together for a residency, their residency, and I found out really quickly that this person was not husband material, unfortunately. And then so I broke up with them, and then immediately after, and I wasn't that sad about it, because that thing about how women tend to think more in relationships about trying to like, we'll make it work, instead of guys who are like, oh, there's something went wrong, we're gonna bail immediately, you know. So like, I spent a really long time with that person thinking that we'll make it work. It ended up not working, obviously, so I ended up breaking up with them, and I wasn't that distraught because by then I was done with him. And then very quickly in the year directly after, or it might have been like 6 months later, I found someone else, and that was a terrible breakup for me because they were a very handy, capable person, and I was very into that person. And then the way they broke up with me was not cool. There was a whole Taylor Swift song about it. And then, ooh, we're spinning. Yep, we're turning. And then I didn't eat or leave my bed for like 4 days. And then the one after that was just someone I met at work. And we didn't date or anything. We just like went out once, and then they got sent to a different location. And then the one after that, we didn't really date, but we kind of like hung out for a few months. And then he told me he didn't want to date, which kind of sucked. I didn't cry that much because like we were very honest with each other. And then the one after that was the 1 year at a relationship that I had where that person kind of emotionally did not treat me very well and broke up with me every few months. That's on me. Shame on me. You know, fool me twice, whatever. Fool me 3 times, 4 times. And then I immediately went into this relationship where I spent the last week, you know, kind of crying and having a poor appetite and having poor sleep. Because I think before 2020 and all that stuff that happened, I was very much like, I need time to heal. I need to make sure I'm good before I bring anyone else into my mess. But right now, I'm like, dude, I'm past 30. I gotta hurry. Especially like this last person who, they ended up, oh, we're upside down. Oh, we're gonna turn back around. This last person, they had told me our entire relationship, like, I can't wait to marry you. I can't wait to meet our kids. And then I found out after the fact that they realized that it was just a fantasy and they don't want kids with me. And that is a huge factor. I can't compromise on that because everyone who's been in my, like, who's known me for a really long time knows I've wanted kids my entire life. Since I was a child, I'm like, I love kids and I want my own. I took care of my sister, I took care of my cousins. Like, I love kids and I really want my own someday. And that's why this was such a heartbreak for me. Even though it was a short in terms of time, it didn't feel short in terms of connection and emotion and like how deep we felt, because this was like my future person, my forever person. And at this point I'm like, I gotta move on, I gotta find someone to like pump them out, you know, like I'm on a timeline, I got a clock that's gonna expire or get harder to use, you know. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's the beginning of the year. Anyone on a dating app right now, like, they're gonna be as much of a mess as I am. You're not gonna want to match with those people. They're probably going through breakups too. And then like, and it hits February, you're like, you don't want to meet someone before Valentine's Day, because there's a thing like, oh, if you meet someone before Valentine's Day, that's too much of a, you know, like a thing. And then we're turning. And then like after Valentine's Day, it might be okay, but like, because literally my breakup date was December 30th, it's easier for me to count like how long I need / take for to move on and stuff. And like emotionally and mentally, I'm definitely not ready to move on. Logically, I know that, you know, there's no chance. This person did this to me. They're gonna do it again in the future. Just no chance with this person. But like in my heart, I'm like, what if, you know? And my mind's like, shut up, heart, you're dumb. So, yeah, I gotta, this year, the beginning of this year is gonna be me healing, and like, I'm gonna be one of those girls who are gonna be like, I'm gonna spend time on myself, I'm gonna be single for a while, immediately bump into the guy I'm gonna marry. And because I'm saying that, it's not gonna happen to me. But let's manifest it. Let's manifest a me cute. Let's manifest the perfect person for me, and the person who's gonna treat me right. Have a good day, everybody.